What's going on, guys? Welcome to Political Fight Club. I'm Robert Durden, continuing with On Guerrilla Warfare by Mao. This is the last chapter. It's a long chapter, so we're going to split it up into 2 or 3 episodes. Probably read the first, third today. Starting on page 55, chapter 7, The Strategy of Guerrilla Resistance Against Japan. It has been definitely decided that in the strategy of our war against Japan, guerrilla strategy must be auxiliary to fundamental orthodox methods. If this were a small country, guerrilla activities could be carried out close to the scene of the operations of the regular army and directly complementary to them. In such a case, there would be no question of guerrilla strategy as such, nor would the question arise if our country were as strong as Russia, for example, and able speedily to eject an invader. The question exists because China, a weak country of vast size, has today progressed to the point where it has become possible to adopt the policy of a protracted war characterized by guerrilla operations. Although these may at first glance seem to be abnormal or unorthodox, such is not actually the case. Because Japanese military power is inadequate, much of the territory her armies have overrun is without sufficient garrison troops. Under such circumstances, the primary functions of guerrillas are 3. First, to conduct a war on exterior lines, that is, in the rear of the enemy. Second, to establish bases. And last, to extend the war areas. Thus, guerrilla participation in the war is not merely a matter of purely local guerrilla tactics, but involves strategical considerations. Such war, with its vast time and space factors, establishes a new military process, the focal point of which is China today. The Japanese are apparently attempting to recall a past that saw the Yuan extinguish the Sung and the Qing conquer the Ming, that witnessed the extension of the British Empire to North America and India, and saw the Latins overrun Central and South America. As far as China today is concerned, such dreams of conquest are fantastic and without reality. Today's China is better equipped than was China's of yesterday, and a new type of guerrilla hostilities is part of that equipment. If our enemy fails to take these facts into consideration and makes too optimistic an estimate of the situation, he courts disaster. And I'm counting on that for the information war. I'm counting on the mainstream media not understanding exactly how screwed they are until it's too late. I don't want them to realize that PFC-style politics and commentators who are actually getting a ton of views, when you add them all up together, hundreds or thousands of them, by the time that the mainstream media realizes this is happening, they've already lost the propaganda war, and we're already seeing it. Though the strategy of guerrillas is inseparable from war strategy as a whole, the actual conduct of these hostilities differs from the conduct of orthodox operations, which is exactly why I don't call myself a journalist. I don't consider myself a journalist, and I don't hold myself to exactly the same tactics and strategies and even the same polite manners that journalists do. Definitions matter, folks. Each type of warfare has methods peculiar to itself, and methods suitable to regular warfare cannot be applied with success to the special situations that confront the guerrillas. Before we treat the practical aspects of a guerrilla war, it might be well to recall the fundamental axiom of combat on which all military action is based. This can be stated, quote, conservation of one's own strength, destruction of the enemy's strength. A military policy based on this axiom is consonant with a national policy directed towards the building of a free and prosperous Chinese state and the destruction of Japanese imperialism. It is in furtherance of this policy that government applies in military strength. Is the sacrifice demanded by war in conflict with the idea of self-preservation? Not at all. The sacrifices demanded are necessary both to destroy the enemy and preserve ourselves. The sacrifice of a part of the people is necessary to preserve the whole. All the considerations of military action are derived from this axiom. Its application is as apparent in all tactical and strategical conceptions as it is in the simple case of the soldier who shoots at his enemy from a covered position. All guerrilla units start from nothing and grow. What method should we select to ensure the conservation and development of our own strength and the destruction of that of the enemy? The essential requirements are the 6 listed below. 1. Retention of the initiative, carefully planned tactical attacks in a war of strategical defense, tactical speed in a war strategically protracted, tactical operations on exterior lines in a war conducted strategically on interior lines. Number 2, conduct of operations to complement those of the regular army. Number 3, the establishment of bases. Number 4, a clear understanding of the relationship that exists between the attack and the defense. 5, the development of mobile operations. And 6, correct command. The enemy, though numerically weak, is strong in the quality of his troops and their equipment. We, on the other hand, are strong numerically, but weak as to quality. These considerations have been taken into account in the development of the policy of tactical offense, tactical speed, and tactical operations on exterior lines in a war that, strategically speaking, is defensive in character, protracted in nature, and conducted along interior lines. Our strategy is based on these conceptions. They must be kept in mind, the conduct of all operations. Although the element of surprise is not absent in orthodox warfare, there are fewer opportunities to apply it than there are during guerrilla hostilities. In the latter, speed is essential. The movements of guerrilla troops must be secret and of supernatural rapidity. The enemy must be taken unaware, and the action entered speedily. There can be no procrastination in the execution of the plan, no assumption of a negative or passive defense, no great dispersion of forces in many local engagements. The basic method is the attack in a violent and deceptive form. While there may be cases where the attack will extend over a period of several days, if that length of time is necessary to annihilate the enemy, it is more profitable to launch and push an attack with maximum speed. The tactics of defense have no place in the realm of guerrilla warfare. Agreed. If a delaying action is necessary, such places as defiles, a river, crossings, and villages offer the most suitable conditions, for it is in such places that the enemy's arrangements may be disrupted and he may be annihilated. The enemy is much stronger than we are, and it is true that we can hinder, distract, disperse, and destroy him only if we disperse our own forces. Although guerrilla warfare is the warfare of such dispersed units, it is sometimes desirable to concentrate in order to destroy an enemy. Thus, the principle of concentration of force against a relatively weaker enemy is applicable to guerrilla warfare. We can prolong this struggle and make of it a protracted war only by gaining positive and lightning-like tactical decisions, by employing our manpower in proper concentrations and dispersions, and by operation on exterior lines in order to surround and destroy our enemy. If we cannot surround whole armies, we can at least partially destroy them. If we cannot kill the Japanese, we can capture them. The total effect of many local successes will be to change the relative strengths of the opposing forces. The destruction of Japan's military power, combined with the international sympathy for China's cause and the revolutionary tendencies evident in Japan, will be sufficient to destroy Japanese imperialism. We will next discuss initiative, alertness, and the matter of careful planning. We're going to continue with this chapter a different day. We're on page 59. We've got about 13 or 14 pages left. Keep fighting that good fight, guys. Hope you're enjoying the book. Go out and buy it if you want to finish it up before I finish it. I know that my readings aren't exactly an audiobook. They're full of mispronunciations, stutters, and a lot of F words. So if you want to finish up the book, I highly recommend just going out and buying it. It's not that expensive. I found this one for like a couple bucks. Talk to you guys later.